Torah Or Vayigash, page Mem Daled, second column, Numaimer. It says in the pasuk, "Vayilakad Yosef kol hakeser ninsa b'eretz Mitzrayim." Yosef gathered all the money that existed in the Mitzrayim because he had for the hunger. No, vayave Yosef atzakesef. Beis Pari, Yosef brought the money into the house of Pari. Ini Amirazal, it says in the Medrash, Sholish matmani is hit min Yosef. Yosef took all the money and hid it into three different treasuries. He divided it into three. Achas nizgala l'kairach. One was revealed to Kairach, that's why Kairach was very wealthy. Achas nigel Antoninus. One was revealed to Rabbi's buddy, the Roman Emperor Antoninus. And one was hidden for the tzaddikim lasad lavi. L'havin that understand in Eksiva is all a tzaddik. It says the light was planted for the tzaddik. If you do what earth are we talking about? What earth is planted for tzaddikim? Earth kadma. The light from the first day of creation. You were able to look at one end of the world to the next. The gun is HaKadosh Baruch Hu tzadikayu, that Hashem hid it for tzaddikim. In other words, the Zohar says that Vayemer Elokim then it's a Vayemer Elokim Esar Ki Teiv. No, I'm sorry. So the question is, it should have said Vayihi Chen. Everything else in creation is Vayihi Chen, so it was. So Mefarshim asked, why did it say Vayemer Elokim Yehi Or? It should say Vayihi Chen. Why did it say Vayihi Or? So simple, the Mefarshim answered, because it's one word. I mean, Or and Chen, it's one word. Other things would have been a whole repetition. But in Zayar it says that because Vayihi Or, it wasn't the same Or he said. Hashem, the light, the Zohar says, in Medrash also he quotes, that the light that Hashem created the first day, you were able to see from one end of the world to the next. Hashem saw it wasn't fit for tzaddik, for the world, so he hid it. Whereby he art, it was a different type of art. Where did he hide this first art? So one place it says in Torah, another place it says he hid it for tzaddikim lasud lavi.
Not in the canons of Hanukkah?
No. I don't know, maybe it says somewhere. Again, I don't know. So there's a story about Baal Shem Tov instead. In fact, that a lady, her husband ran away and she didn't know where he was. So they told her to go to the Baal Shem Tov, and the Baal Shem Tov had a Zohar on the table. He opened up the Zohar and he said, okay, your husband is in this city. And she went and she found him. So the Talmidim asked the Baal Shem Tov, it doesn't say in the Zohar where the husband is. So obviously you knew Ruach HaKodesh. Why didn't you need the Zohar for? So he said, because this light that you're able to see from one end of the world to the next, Hashem hidden Torah, and Zohar means to shine. So in Zohar I was able to see the light, so I was able to see where the husband was.
Yeah.
So he says, so therefore it says like this. Or Zeruah Tzaddik means the Or Hashem created on the first day of creation. That you're able to see from one end of the world to the next. Hashem hid it in for Tzaddikim Lasad Lavi. Binyan, what's this Inyan Agniza in Ruchnius? Okay, so what does it mean in spiritual that Hashem hid the Or? Yuvandine, Bavedas Hashem Yimtza Beis Bechinos Madreges Babas Hashem. In serving Hashem, there's two levels of Ava. Ava, one is Bechinas Ava, Neiledas and Nimshachas Min Hasbeinas Bigdul Sinsav Baruch Hu. One level is that you meditate, Ava that comes from meditation. Like we learned Ava Salem, right? You meditate into the world. When he'll meditate deeply in his mind, in the greatness of Hashem, then Yulad Mizeh. Or Yivali means whatever it is, grammar. His pilas b'tshuk v'slavas elav yizbarich. That will awaken, seichel awakens feelings. So he meditates into the power of Hashem, the greatness of Hashem, the kindness of Hashem. He'll create a love. Because according to the seichel, a person will praise Shamid esim shochem acharach seichel v'izbeinis. So Abazu, this level of love that comes from thinking, is Bechinas Elod HaChadoshim. is a new type of ava, shenimsa mechodesh. There comes new, they seichel v'izbeininus. It's an ava that's not naturally instinctive within the person. It's a new ava that comes. You meditate, you have it. You don't meditate, you don't have it.
It's not the mesuteret that's coming out.
No, 1 second. The second level of ava, that's called ava mesuteres, the hidden love. She ava sheyesh b'teva told us on nefesh kids that from just instinctively exists within the nefesh kids. She chavta v'tiva, which is want and desire. The scholar brings a baruch to become one with Hashem, which is mekayda v'shosha. Its source and origin. Alashi bechin etze bechinas helim gadol, helim v'hester gadol. That's in a concealed form. V'yitziasi ala gilu, and it's coming out to the revelation is ideas beininus. That's also through his beininus, but it's not a new ava that's created from machshava or seichel. It's a thing that's always there. How do you reveal it? You have to think a little bit about God. If not, it's not going to be revealed.
You don't need that, Rabbi, do you?
Of course you need.
No, I'm saying it's instinctive, you said.
Yeah, but how do you reveal it? You have to still think about it. And it's not the same as Beininus that creates a new seichel.
No, you said like on Yom Kippur, you said that level automatically is part of
That's Chassidus Shabbat, it's a whole different story. When you reveal through thinking, it's not a new birth from the seichel that creates the ava, because ava is benefesh. That ava existed. I'll give you a simple example. A person loves the family, yeah, but when you're at work, you're not thinking about the family. That ava is not revealed. Okay, so then all you have to do is think a little bit about them. Oh, you know, and then that automatically wakens the ava, because that ava is there instinctively. Ava is the ava leben, right? The father of a love to a child. That's instinctive. You don't need a big seichel, to big hisbeininus to awaken it. But the first level of ava that you're creating through seichel, and therefore, based on the seichel, that's how much ava you're going to have in the first way. The second way, it's not based on seichel. It's just you need to think about it, to awaken it, to reveal it from the hidden. And that's when it says nichnas, Maimed Azah, what the Gemara says. Nichnas yayin yotzasod. When wine goes in, out comes secrets, right? What does that mean? Say there's ava mesuteres. Chassidus explains that yayin is his beininus, right? Seichel bina. Yotzasod, sod is the secret. That means it's the hidden love that's not revealed ava. So now then it creates ube'emes. So now the question, which ava is greater? The ava created through seichel, or the ava that's just revealed with the slightest beininus? So he says, be'emes smilas umadregas avazu. The mila and the advantage of this ava mesuteres, which is hidden, is gedel of an ava mebchinas ava aneldem is beininus anal. It's much greater than the revealing, the meditating ava. Why? This is brand new and this isn't. So something created is greater than something just there revealed. He says, Afa became it's higher. Why? Because it's the essence of the neshama. It's the Ava Mesuteres that exists. The Ava Nodam is Beininus, is Lamata Mimedam Madrega. Okay, Rak, it doesn't fall down. In other words, Ava Mesuteres, like it says in Tanya, Ava Mesuteres, when it goes out of the Gilu, Helim to Gilu, is called Ava Rabba, which is higher than Avas Elam, which comes from his Beinim. It's like we learned in the other Maimer. Avas Elam means the Ava that comes to meditating into world, how great Hashem is. That's Avas Elam. Then you have Ava Rabba. Like even in davening, you have different nuschos, Ava Rabba, Avas Elam. It represents different levels of Ava. Okay, so that's the level, 2 levels of Ava. So he says, Inei bechinas yemadregas Yosef et Tzadik. What level is Yosef et Tzadik of these two avos? Bechinas av and av mesuteres. That's the hidden level of ava sheyesh b'chol nefesh mi Yisrael. Sheshah shagavayim eid nailam. And that's why Yosef is the level of Yesod. Tzadik Yesod Elam. Yesod is Yud Sod. Hainu bechinas Yud Sod. So Yosef is the level of Sod. Yosef is the level of the Ava Mesuteres, the hidden love, which is a higher level than the Ava Rabba. Zeu Pirish Ar Zorola Tzadik, which is Ar Kadma Shagonzal Tzadikim. And what is this Ar Kadmana? Bechinas Ava Rabba Shanau, which is La Maila Maila Bechinas Avas Elam, which is also called Ur. Ela Shagonzal Tzadikim. They're here for tzaddik, which is the level of Yosef tzaddik elyon. Yosef tzaddik, Yosef, from all the shvatim, he's the only one called Yosef tzaddik. Because he's tzaddik Yisrael. Umiman and Israel b'chol echad mi Yisrael. Bechinas Ava, now from him comes the Ava Taviyid. Ala Shemitzuter, bechinas Gnida v'Seid. V'helem nichnas yayin yotzesot. Okay, so now the Rabbi explained so far there's three treasures. Yeah? One, Kairach got, one Antonina's got, and the third treasure, he hid for tzaddikim. That's the Avim Mesuteres, that's the treasure that's hidden for tzaddikim. And he explained there's Avas Elam, Avarabba, there's the Avas that comes through his baininess. It's not as great as the Ava that's instinctively hidden there. He said, "Alpizer, Yuvan Gam Kemasher Kos, Bezer Pashas Truma, High Arza Rualela Kosh Baruch Begeniza. Did Nuya de High Tzadik Dio Gansa de Ginsa, but not the Lai Erd, Bezorle is Riadik Shait." He says like this. That's what it says in the Zayad, that this Arza Ruah was Ginsa de Adnei, which is Gan Eden. I de high tzaddik, the ganze de ginsa, which is the level of the hidden gan, and he took that art and he planted it in Zriak Sheit, in a emes, ubegolusa, and in golus ganze leal beganana, and this doesn't the light doesn't reveal itself in golus. Vaho arzarua, toder of it even in mine megami is drazik kadmis pirush. Ganza bechinas amshachas kavachut. Ganza, what level is gan? That's the level of the amshachas kavachut. And the malchus the ein sof reishis akav atziyum nikal kol bechinas ginza, which is the level of malchus.
What's he say?
No, he says like this. There's a beginning of creation, right? The locus was all over the place, so you have to remove everything. Not take it, not forget it, take it away, just hidden, right? And he revealed the Kavachut, starting with the level of Ak, Adam Kadman, which is the first Amshach of Gilui after the Tzimtzum, and then it goes, now that already is limited. So he says, K'maymer, as like the Gemara says, that ma gan tzarich la'adon la'ashkes u'l'zamer shubachinas avedus haberurim, like it's Chazal said like this, a gan, you need a garden, yeah, you need to plow it, you need to prune it, you need to water it, you need to take care of it. Shezanesai the Yosef at Tzadik. That's accomplished ruchnius through Yosef at Tzadik. By the way, every Yid has in himself a Yosef at Tzadik, similar to the others, because Yosef is Noye Katzain Yosef. The Yid are called Tzain Yosef. So Yosef is the shepherd of the Klal Yisrael. The Nekamari, but it's a Gashmis. Just like in the physical planting. Yash Beis Minei Tzmich. There's two types of planting. One is Tfuan Yizras Midei Shana V'Shana V'Elim V'Tzemchim. One is the grain you have to replant every year. Right? Every year you have to plant it. V'abeis are called Tzvichen. Tzvichen, he says, what does it mean? Masher Tzemech Me'eleha. Things that grow by themselves. Shlei Nizar Achshav Klal. It's from a seed that fell a long time ago. You know, it's like we know, there's certain things, yeah, like weeds, you don't have to plant every week, every year. They just come up. So he says, Veinikra sficha da'ara, the mekayim ha'ara, he says that those weeds, or those things that grow by themselves, ikar kiyam ha'aretz ha'idei sfichim. The primary, what keeps the earth nurtured? Those sfichim. So therefore, in Gashmis you have two things. You have the yearly planting, that means there's constant Aveda, and the things that happen by themselves. In the earth up there, which is called the Gan of Hashem, Beis Bechinas Madreges Elu, Hainu, Hamshachas and Hamshachas Bechinas Zriya. There are certain Giluyim of Elokus that come about through our Aveda. Right? Just like in the field. You work it, you get it. You don't work it, you don't get it. So therefore there's a level of Zriya that we do Aveda. V'yash b'chinas shagidil and b'chinas vichem. Hainu mamash nizma krar. Things that come by themselves. Oh, not through the Aveda necessarily of a Jew. Even though, he says like this, when you plant every year, the new grain is new. The svichim are not new. This was hidden in the earth a while ago. That the svichin, yeah, the svichin, the things that grow by themselves, is a greater source because that, like you said before, that's what keeps the earth nurtured. Same thing, the Ava Mesuteres. When it's revealed, even though it's not new like Ava Nodem is Beinanis, okay. So now the Rebbe is saying like this. There's hidden stuff and there's revealed stuff. The revealed stuff takes Aveda to reveal. Like Ava Salem, you need to be Mizbeinin to create a new feeling, a new Ava. Just like you have to plant in order to get wheat or whatever it is. You have to plant it yearly. You have to have Aveda, watering, plowing. It's all these things. Chassidus explains exactly what they are in Ruchnius. And then you have to plant it. And then there's Svichim that you don't plant. It's there from before, but it's hidden. The koyach that the earth plants it is now your avodah that you revealed it. You planted the seed or whatever. It comes by itself.
Is there, and every Jew has it from Abraham Avinu.
And from Yosef at Tzaddik. Well, every Jew has Ava from Abraham, Yira from Yitzchok, and Tiferes from Yaakov.
It's there, and it comes out whether you work on it or you don't work on it.
Correct.
It's there.
Right.
But the other one you have to work on.
Correct. Now, even the hidden one, the Abba Rabba, the Abba Mesuteres, you still have to reveal it by thinking about it. But it's not the Aveda, it's not a complicated Aveda. To reveal the Abba Mesuteres,
by default, it's there.
It's there. You don't have to reveal it.
Is one could be stronger than the other on somebody versus...
Yeah, by sometimes it's the Ava Mesuteres that wakes up and is very powerful. Because it comes from a higher place, so it's more powerful. It comes from a deeper level, so when it's revealed, there's so much... Not only that, Seichel changes. Seichel changes. Okay? You're younger, this Baininess is different, and therefore the Ava is different. You get older, the more you learn, the more you realize. So Seichel, that Ava that comes from Seichel is basically limited based on the Seichel. The Ava Mesuteres is not limited.
You don't need that for Ava Mesuteres?
No.
It's there.
It's there.
So
Moshe Rabbeinu reveals that level. Yeah.
These people, go ahead, I'm sorry. Mastur. These people who come from old Persia, and they have a higher level of emunah, and they're not studying, but they have the emunah. This emunah, if they don't study, is not going to go away. It's going to stay because it's mesuteret.
A Jew is maminim b'nei maminim. Right? I told you many times. When this guy came over to the Rebbe and said, I don't believe in God, the Rebbe said, the fact that you say you don't believe doesn't take away from the fact that you do. Here the guy is saying, I don't believe, is actively saying the opposite.
Yes.
And the Rebbe said to him,
It's in you.
it's not, what you're saying is not real. You can say whatever you want. Okay? You can say I'm not a person. But you are. I mean, whatever you're going to do, it's not going to help you.
A Jew, whether he wants to be a Jew or not,
Is a Jew.
is a Jew.
The guy says, I'm not Jewish. It doesn't do anything. You could say it, you could think it, you can act it.
You could go against it.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can act against it, but you're still Jewish.
Wow.
Yeah, in Gashmi is the mashal, the simple mashal, a child and a parent.
Yeah.
A kid says to the father, I'm not your kid. I'm going to sue you for having me. Yeah? I have nothing to do with you. I'm estranged from you. Correct? Al Bidin is still his father. And the reality is it's his father. Can he marry the father's sister? Or the father's daughter from another wife? Can he marry? No, why not? It's not my father. It is your father. I say it's not, but that doesn't, it's your father. It's a fact you can't change. The Ava, which is Ava's Elam, the Ava that comes through thinking, that you could change. You meditate into the greatness of Hashem, it creates Ava and Yir, right? Then you could meditate in, God forbid, how Hashem was cruel in the Holocaust and therefore could create hate. Yeah? But that doesn't, and that open Ava could be hate. Which, by the way, is also a relationship. It's also good. There's a relationship.
Yes. When you don't have no relationship with
Siblings that fight are much better and closer than siblings who are apathetic to one another. Apathy means you don't exist, I don't have nothing to do with you. You do, they don't do. Because when you fight somebody, there's a connection. It's not a loving connection, but that connection, though, can turn into loving.
You care.
Everybody knows siblings that fought the most when they were kids are the closest when they get older. Because there's a connection. That's why we mentioned many times. In the 60s, there were a lot of Bali Chuvas. Why? In the 60s, whether you say day, I say night. It doesn't matter.
They fight.
They fight you. So when the guys had tefillin booths on campus, yeah, everybody came to fight you.
They engage.
They engaged. So you have a connection to them. So now you have a connection, so then I can get you. But if you walk by, you can drop dead, nobody cares. In the 70s, it was like you walk by, a guy can drop dead, and nobody cared, they just kept walking. Apathy. There were much less about each other. Then in the 80s, it started again. But there is this concept of even a negative relationship is a relationship, which could be changed.
Where is the Abba Mesuteret when Lo Aleinu Chas V'Shalom, a Jew is marrying a goy, and
Are they still Jewish?
they're Jewish.
Do they need to put on tefillin?
100%.
Do they need to keep Shabbos?
Yes.
Are they any less Jewish than Moshe Rabbeinu?
No, but where is the
That's-
Mesuteret?
Because it didn't reveal itself. A Jew, the God forbid, like you're saying, yeah, is not it's not even a drop less Jewish than Moshe Rabbeinu. A lot of other types of Jews will tell you, religious Jews will tell you they're not Jewish. right? But that's not true. We know it's not true.
They're not saying they're not Jewish, but they don't.
Practice.
They don't.
They don't practice.
Right.
So does that make him not Jewish?
No.
Is a son, God forbid, who's estranged from his father, makes him less son?
No.
Okay. In behavioral relationship, it's less. But in who he is, he's a son. You could scream, I'm not a son, but you are a son.
When they do these things, the Mesuteret should tickle them a little bit, like
How do you know it doesn't? How do you know there's no guilt there? How do you know? Sometimes people, by nature, are doing a crime and they feel guilty, but they say, no, I'm not going to feel guilty. So they'll...
But it's for sure is there.
It says in Chassidus, if a person sins, no matter what it is, and they have a little bit of guilt, that's a real good sign. The problem is when somebody doesn't have any guilt whatsoever, or as it says in Chassidus, that let's say people, they see not tzniistic things or whatever. So a guy could say, it doesn't turn me on. Doesn't do anything to me. That doesn't show he's great. And the opposite. He is so low. Like this, a little bit of evil would bother you. You feel a little guilt. It's not because I'm so great, it doesn't have any impact on me. On the contrary, the fact that it doesn't impact you shows how low you are. You fell so low that it doesn't impact you. That means even the Abba Mitzuteres could be hidden and not revealed.
That far deep.
Yeah. The Rabbi has in Sami Yud Gimel, in Basi Lagani Tavshin Yud Gimel, because in Basi Lagani it says over there this, that the Nefesh, no, it's late, whatever. It says in the original Basi Lagani that the Ruach Shtus covers the Nefesh Abamis, Mechasa Lo Emes is only the Seichel and Midas of the Nefesh Abamis, not in the essence. Yeah? And therefore, when push comes to shove, he'll be Meisa Nefesh. Right? So they ask the Rebbe, L'cheira, people do Shmadzach, people do worship Aveda Zara. So the Rebbe answered, there are times that the Ruach Shtus covers even that. Not permanently, but it covers that, even that level.
לא היה